Are you ready to get serious? Let's talk about 3i Atlas, Angelic Energy, and Sirius Energy. Happy Monday. It's Monday, November 24th, and I have your energy update for the next few days. Hi, my name is Paula Taylor. I'm a sound and energy activator, intuitive reader and channeler, body worker and fearless alchemist, seraphim, and I coach people on the path to spiritual awakening. So, angelic energy is intensely powerful. It's very potent. There's a reason that like the seraphim are described as beings of flame. There's no flame in the quantum. There's no oxygen there. But in the physical, when we receive this pure energy of source that we label angelic energy, it often comes through as heat. And I have been opening and reawakening my own angelic energy for the last like 5 or 6 years, remembering who I was, where I came from, what I'm here for, all of that stuff. And it has been extremely intense for me. It tends to burn my body out whenever I see other practitioners are like, you have so much heat in your body. That is the seraphim flame. That's just a label we've used in the quantum. It's all light. And light in the physical, extreme energy comes through as heat, or we see it as light. So some of you probably remember last year, I started talking about the angelic net. I call it the archangel net that wraps around the earth. It really is made of the same wing material that the seraphim are made of. To me, I see everything more in the quantum. I use angelic terms because they self-refer that way, but I see things more as like quantum energy and light and sometimes Star Trek nerdiness. So the seraphim wings are really like this net of light that sort of holds the space of source. And we have been offered that energy here. It's been around the earth here for the last couple of years. Some of you remember me asking for help to kind of do an upgrade and power that up last year. And the archangels are here to guard that, to maintain that, to protect it. So throughout this grid, this net of light, in each kind of section of the grid, there are archangels responsible for like maintaining and protecting that grid, because angelic energy is the most potent energy of the quantum. And in the physical, it's the most powerful, and it can be corruptible because it is so clear. And it's hard for people to hold that. So when I was in Santa Barbara, some of you may have remembered me saying I was in a cacao ceremony and I received this information and this activation from Sirius, from the Syrians. And that is a cool blue energy. And at the time they told me this Sirius energy will essentially like wrap around the angelic energy and make it more palatable to people. And at the time, I had a little bit of an egoic response to that, where I was kind of like, I have spent like however many years trying to figure out this energy and figure out how to share it. And now you're asking me, I felt like they were asking me to kind of dull it down, to almost like disguise it. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. Like my whole business model is claim your light and let it shine. I've literally been doing that. Like I'm not going to dumb this down, is kind of how my ego received that. And last night or this morning, I went back to 3i Atlas and I got more information about this. So everybody, there's all these people saying they're channeling all these different beings. There are many beings using 3i Atlas as a frequency amplifier and tuner. The archangels are in charge of protecting it to make sure that all of the energy that comes out of that is for the highest and most illuminated good. That most illuminated good came directly from my archangels. That's the wording that they use. So when I go there and I hang out with Michael, I went back into the resonance chamber and I was working with one of these fields that got activated. If you want to nerd out about those, episode 199 of Wind Down Wednesdays is out now wherever you get your podcasts. Went into a lot of detail what these fields are, what they're called, how we're going to be working with them. Lots of great information there. So I was hanging out with him and I was back in the resonance chamber and I was working with one of these fields in my own body and kind of having all of these insights about myself. And the Syrians showed up and they were like, are you ready to finally listen to us? Because they gifted me with another activation the other day. And the next client I saw right after that activation said, oh my God, what changed? This was the most intense session I've ever had. And for me, it was one of the easiest I've ever done, because the Sirius, this cool blue energy, again, comes in and wraps around the angelic and allows it to flow through the physical body with more ease. And it allows it to be received by the physical body, in this case, the physical body I was working with, in a way that's more recognizable, because angelic energy in this physical plane can be very unstable. There's a reason, again, they call it a flame. It burns really hot. It's very intense. And a lot of you are drawn to me because you have angelic origins, throat confirmation. So you have the ability to directly receive angelic energy. And this Sirius energy allows us to do it with much less intensity in the physical body. It does not dull the intensity of the energy. This is the message that I was getting today. Like, that was a sort of an egoic reaction on my part, and like, hey, we all have them. It happens. It is here to allow more people to receive angelic energy and recognize it. There is something about the coolness of the Sirian energy that sort of tampers the heat of the angelic and allows it to actually be received by people who might not be able to recognize it, or if they did receive it, it might be too unstable in their systems. And we are always operating in the highest and most illuminated good. So my goal is never to destabilize someone in a way that doesn't serve them. Sometimes we get a little bit destabilized in order to grow and expand for ourselves. But this Sirius energy is coming in to help this angelic energy gain more purchase, is the way it's coming through in this physical realm, because that is the energy that is going to shift us into 2026. So the information I keep getting right now is like 2026 is going off like a rocket. Where do you want your rocket pointed? And for me, a lot of this is about finding more ease in the work that I do, because when I channel in the past, it's a ton of energy, literally, physically, energetically, emotionally. Like, I get spent. I get a little bit burnt out by channeling angelic energy. Garbage truck confirmation. So the Sirians are using 3i Atlas to beam out their energy to help us make use of this angelic energy, to help more people recognize it, to help more people receive it, to help the people who are channeling it be able to do that in a way that is more sustainable physically, emotionally, and energetically. This is a really important turning point. And I will tell you that I have not felt this hopeful for this entire year. I've not felt hopeless, but I can see that this shift, like, we've turned the Titanic around, or it's like it's actually turning. And the 3i Atlas is part of that. And also, for the people who say it's just a comment, go and like read what the Harvard astrophysicist guy is saying about why he doesn't think it's a comet. And like, also, I don't care, because I know, because I've been there and I feel it. Someone else said it was made of obsidian, and that feels true to me as well. So what I'm going to do today is give you a Sirius, like a just really mini Sirius activation. And then I'm going to give you the angelic energy I usually give you. And I want you to notice, does it feel different? Have you received it differently? And like, there's no judgment around that. I'm just interested to get some feedback, honestly. So as usual, put something in the comments to consent. If you want to leave some feedback, I'd love to receive that. Don't do this while you're driving. Close your eyes if you can. Put a hand on your heart, maybe a hand on your belly. Just allow yourself to receive. I am a being of light and frequency might be a good consent. Say shanayata kai and the kayata kai and the kayata ku and the kayata kiata kay and the kayata kayata ku and the kayata kiata kay and the kayata ki and the kayata kai and the ka kue and the kayata kiata ki and the kayata kay and the shayata kai and the ku at the kai and the kiata kay. Uyama say aye. Wherever you are on your journey, You are